Hello, my name is Zach Henstein, and the article I chose to present about is called Middle School Students' Social Media Use. Before we get into that, I'm going to ask just one question. When did you start using social media, and what age? While you think of that, let's go over some keywords that the article uses. The first keyword is digital etiquette, which is basically the unspoken rules of social media and the internet. So basically, like the do's and don'ts um, of social media. Next, we got the digital footprints, which is any post, image, or message that you send out. It kind of just leads back to you, so that you're leaving a footprint. Um, and then next, we got digital privacy. It's just privacy, but online. So I'm not going to go too into detail about that one. And digital identity is the way you express yourself online and the way you see yourself and the way others see you. So the argument that my article gave was the welfare of middle school students was the increase of technology use. The method they used to support this was a survey. So they had participants and they asked those participants questions. And then the data analytical procedure they used was just a descriptive statistic about the answers that were given in the survey. So the participants were two middle schools in the southeastern region of the U.S. So that included 593 middle school students, 300 of them were female, 293 were male. The survey asked many different questions, but I narrowed it down to four that I thought were the most important and gave the most information and that backed up the argument. So jumping right into it, we got the first question of when did the middle school students start using social media? And the table shows that 102 of them started at age of 9 or younger, 121 at the age of 10, 149 11, and etc. And so they concluded that the average age that they started using social media was only 11 years old. So the article kind of saw this as a problem because 11-year-olds might not have established like a full awareness and capabilities in protecting themselves when on social media. So this kind of goes back to some of the keywords. So like they might not understand uh, the social etiquette, and so they might post things that are seen as disrespectful or something like that that can affect them in the future. And they also might not understand like digital footprint and they might think like that you can just delete it, like a message that you posted, but obviously once you post to the internet, it's always out there. So the article just thought that it would be better um, if they understood that sort of thing before they started using social media. And one of those things that they could do is accepting a friend request from a stranger. And 239 of them have already accepted strangers' friend requests. Um, this is definitely one of the things that can affect them in a negative way. And some of the consequences of doing this would be like identity theft and hacking, where they can steal your personal information and information about your family. And another consequence would be just having a creepy person follow you, and they might message you some inappropriate things that can really affect an 11-year-old's mind. Reading and seeing some inappropriate things can definitely affect somebody like that. Moving on to parents monitoring their social media accounts. So only 269 of the students have their parents monitor their social media account. So the other 235 students can do whatever they want without having anybody tell them that that's not okay, and just having somebody that just tells them what not to do and what to do on social media. Going along with this, the three most used social media sites are Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat. And the article brought up that there was like a pattern of students wanting to keep information away from parents and teachers. And this table backs that up because Instagram and Snapchat in particular are harder to use for people 25 and up, because most people 25 and up use like Facebook and Twitter, and Instagram and Snapchat are catered towards the younger generation. So even if like your parent is trying to look through somebody's Instagram page, like they might not understand where to look, and they might miss out on something that their kid is doing that is wrong, and that can affect them in the future. Same thing that goes with Snapchat. It has this feature where once you read the message, it disappears and you can't read it again. So it's almost impossible for parents to see what their kids are doing on Snapchat. So that can also get them into trouble. Moving on, we have the activities middle school students do on social media sites. So these can be categorized into two groups, and the first group would be updating their own account, and the second group would be giving feedback and comments on other people's accounts. So there's actually a 5-4 ratio between these two groups, which means that they conduct more operations into sharing their story rather than really reading other stories. And the article kind of thought this was an issue because it kind of shows that students would rather express themselves than read about somebody else, and so like they're more self-centered, which could be an issue for the future generation. In conclusion, students are beginning to use social media at a very young age. Therefore, it is essential to educate them on digital footprint, digital etiquette, digital privacy, and their digital identity in order to keep them safe from any negative effects social media can have on young kids. Thank you.